This week's episode is brought to you by NYXI and their Hyperion Pro Joy-Cons for Nintendo Switch. The Hyperion Pro is the best Joy-Con replacement we've tested to date. They look fantastic, they feel better than stock Joy-Cons, and the Hall effect sticks ensure longevity of them will outlast Nintendo's offering, as well as other third-party brands that still suffer with the dreaded drift issues. The super comfortable and ergonomic grip allow for easy long-time gaming. The programmable RGB lights mean you can customize the controller to your particular taste, and the gamer's reflex macro buttons are available to give you an edge. Plus, the GameCube-inspired purple option and the green Legend of Zelda-inspired variant really make the controller stand out. All this, and using promo code PvP, you can get 10% off. Head over to nixigame.com or use the link in the description.
Hello, welcome to Podcast vs. Player, episode 300. It's the Big Three Double Bagel. I'm joined by a man who thinks Luke Littler would find Madeline McCann if she had a double 10 on her head.
Oh, fucking hell. That made me laugh.
Even I can appreciate how fucking incredible of a joke that is.
Oh, God.
It's Eddie bloody Callum.
It's only bloody me, Dan.
Hello.
Hello. I don't know how long I'll be on this earth, but...
Well, as always, with Callum when he's got man flu, it's the worst thing in the world and he's going to die immediately. So you may feel that you may hear that he's feeling terrible, and I kind of agree. You sound like shit, mate.
Thank you. That's the only reason
I'm not going to sugarcoat it for you.
I'm better than I was, but we're not doing video this week just because it might scare away the few viewers that we do have.
Well, I got myself all trussed up for number 300, Callum. It's a brand new year and it's a brand new me, or something or other. I'll go through my single white divorcee thing. So I've got my best frock on. I've got my eyes all done. My eyes done.
Your eyes done. Laser eye surgery.
I've had them brought closer together again. I don't know. I was, I've got a whole podcast ready. I say a whole podcast. I've got like 3 things I want to talk about.
That I'm pretty sure you did prior to us recording.
No, I was just tweaking a few things by the time we were recording. But yeah, it's been insanely busy at work at the moment. So I haven't had a huge amount of time to look into everything over the last few weeks because obviously we haven't really done a podcast since before Christmas. But now we're well and truly into 2025. So I can't even say Happy New Year because we're fucking way beyond that.
You can still say it. Still means something.
Maybe what's the cut off like in official professional business stuff?
December 31st.
No, for like saying Happy New Year, by the way. Like are you saying within the first week, within the first 2 weeks, maybe?
I'd say definitely the first week, and then
first week. Yeah, I
would go 2 weeks to people who say if people have got time off and you don't see them until they come back. Then maybe. So I'd say two weeks tops. 2 weeks,
yeah. Well, I'm still doing it. So I think I'm still within that. Yeah,
it's only the 10th.
Yeah, with that sort of 2 week window. Yeah. Otherwise, it starts getting a bit weird. Otherwise, no, because by that same thing, you've never spoken to anyone before, and then they go, "Oh, hey, we're just looking to speak to you about Happy New Year."
No, I don't mean like
August.
Like Jehovah's Witnesses.
I've never spoken to you this year. Oh, okay, fine.
But I don't know. Just I suppose I'd say 2 weeks tops. 2 weeks tops. You look at it like Christmas decorations. When should you take them down?
I mean, Christmas decorations as soon as December's over should be down, in my opinion. I
mean, in my house, they go down Christmas Day night.
As soon as Logan goes to bed, right? That's it. It's over.
Yeah, that's 100% it. They're down and in the box, and then the next day I'll put them in the loft.
Maybe you should just do, instead of doing Christmas once a year, just do it once a decade. Because then you've got something to celebrate. It's like the World Cup. You're just like, oh my God, we've been saving up for 10 years for these presents. He's got like a car and a college.
But that's the thing.
Like,
you'd save loads of money, really, because you just save it through the like years, and then, like you say, you get instead of him having you got the new Xbox or PlayStation. I've got 17 grand. So what you want, mate?
Yeah, basically, yeah. Or just say, I've got you, an incredible violin or something. Like I know you've been practicing at school. I've saved up for this for 6 years, and it's some incredible violin. Oh, you gave it up. Cool.
You finished school 14 years ago.
Oh, shit. I just think, if you want to make Christmas a big deal, then you got to make it a big deal. Just getting tapped from, a local hobbycraft or whatever. It just, you do it properly or you don't bother. That's
I actually bought some stuff from Hobbycraft of Christmas.
For God's sake, of course you did.
It was an Optimus Primal figure you put together. And he lights up and cool.
Balsa wood or something?
No, it's plastic, you silly sausage.
Oh, right, okay. So like an actual thing.
Yeah.
Oh.
It's pretty cool. It's all right.
Good. Did you do anything over the new year, now that we are officially in 2025, the year of do?
It's about time we got it. Not particularly. We did some New Year's festivities on New Year's Eve, which was just...
Such as?
Mario Kart. So we had people around, so we did some Mario... not Mario Kart, Mario Party. And then we went on the Meta Quest 3, did some stuff on that.
Yes.
Beat Saber in and Rich's Plank Experiment, which is fucking tremendous.
I played that. It's my brain is very quick to commit to anything I'm watching or playing, and the VR is especially committing. Like, it's just sort of like, I'm in this world now.
Yeah.
As soon as you're just like, just go and pick up that donut or whatever it is at the end of that plank, I'm like, no. I know that I'm in a room and I know that you're there, but no, absolutely not.
We had to have people like either side when we were doing it, because people were just... I was pretty sure my TV was going to come off the wall.
I wouldn't trust the children and stuff around it, because I'm just like, no, you're going to get smacked in the face, or you're going to jump thinking that you're just actually jumping to your death, and smack straight into the wall or something.
In all fairness, and again, this isn't a sponsorship for the Quest 3, but the good thing about the Quest 3 is, as soon as you come out your boundary, you could see the room, and you could on the Quest 2, but it was a really shit camera. Whereas this is full colour and everything else, so as soon as you come out, you can see where you are.
Yeah.
It's a lot better. But just did that, and then fireworks was obviously going off, so we stayed up until they'd stopped, so Roscoe stopped barking.
Because of the insanely awful weather that we're having at the moment in England, the majority of the New Year's celebrations, fireworks and stuff like that in Manchester, all cancelled.
Good.
Which meant that I fell asleep probably not intentionally, I sort of just fallen asleep napping. At about 10, woke up about 1:30 because I was just
napping at 10.
Well, I just passed out. That's probably a better way of putting it. But I woke up. The cat was absolutely unconscious in my chair, so she wasn't some terrified little thing in the corner. I just genuinely think that if there was anything, it would have been so far in the distance, it wouldn't have even registered to her. So I'm very, very pleased about that, because I was a bit worried, because that would have been her first New Year's.
She had a bonfire now.
Yeah, because she's nearly a year old now.
That's what I mean, yeah. Did it bother her then? That's what I mean.
No, not particularly, no. Again, it's more sort of in Manchester city centre, which is where I live, there's not really people, it's not like there's a million back gardens where people set off their own fireworks or whatever. There's the odd sort of couple of displays around, but again, unless there's anything really close, the closest usually sort of around the gay village, which is a 10-minute walk away. But again, there's so many buildings and stuff like that in the way. You can see the flashes and you can hear sort of pops, but there's nothing shaking the windows or anything.
I think
unless
they're pointless.
Some fuckers set them off outside the canal, outside, because by the time they get into the air, it's little shitty fireworks.
Yeah.
I'm 3 floors up. They're exploding in surrounded buildings, so it echoes like you wouldn't believe. They're so loud. But no one did that this year. I think that would have taken her up. That would have shit her up a little bit. Yeah, for sure.
I imagine that'd shit me up, to be honest. But
oh yeah, when you're not expecting it, it's just boom. Yeah, it's awful.
I fucking hate them. That's from someone that I
think now that
I've never been bothered.
Now that I've got. No, our dogs were never really bothered about them when I was growing up, if I'm honest. But yeah, I'm definitely worried about the cat, because she's a house cat, so she's not used to, sudden loud explosive noises unless I'm having a shit.
But thing is, though, it's not just the sudden loud explosion. It's the fact that to dogs and cats, it's loud to us, so it's so much louder for them. With obviously they've got
for sure
much better hearing than we have.
They also don't have context and understanding of what the fuck's happening.
No, Which is weird.
They go, oh, bloody hell, it's that time of year again, isn't it?
Because, like, if... Not so much Roscoe, because he's a bit fucking dopey. But Jasper, we had a... Because obviously I live in a village. And because it's a farming village, there's a lot of bird scarers. And...
What the hell's that?
It's basically when it's crop season, they've got... Farmers will put these things in the ground. And when a bird gets close to, like, get to the crops, it'll go off. And it's basically a big bang. And it scares them away. Until they start getting... Because birds are a lot smarter than people think. And then they'll get, like...
Oh, yeah, they adapt.
They'll get stones and stuff and throw the stone at it. So it goes off and then they fly in and get the crops. But...
they make tiny bird earmuffs.
Yeah. But when they go off, it sounds like a firework. The exact same, like, kind of bang. Jasper never barked at that. But if a firework went off, he would bark at the firework.
Right.
So it's like they've got some kind of ration. Maybe it's because it's dark, and he goes, "Oh well, it was fucking nighttime. What are you playing at?" And because it was in the daytime when the other thing went off, it's just like that. Don't worry about it.
Yeah, maybe it's like one single loud knock on the door.
So I mean, I don't know, but like I say, I hate them just because of having dogs and stuff. But I've never. It wasn't like when I was younger. I was like, could we go to see the fireworks? So I don't give a fuck.
I remember going, but I don't remember it just being like, oh my god, this is fantastic. You know, I'd imagine that if you go to, you know, like London or Sydney or Hong Kong, or something, you know, like it's like a New Year's celebration where it's like, yeah, we spent like 50 million local currency on this particular firework display. And it's just going to light up the sky. You're like, oh, fucking hell, that's actually quite impressive. Do that, and then leave it. What? You know, someone's setting off a Catherine wheel in the back garden. Shut up.
Did you watch the London thing? Oh, you fell asleep.
Did I fuck?
And we had it on.
I also wouldn't want 3, 2, 1.
That's why we put it on. But again,
it's just another. Now it's Sunday.
Lots of alcohol. So it was like, yeah, just do a fucking.
I'm sure it's more exciting then. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. But was watching it, and it was like you say, it's a big thing, and you got like the London Eye and everything, and whatever else is fucking going on there. And there's all these things going on, and then I looked, and I was like, it's like been like 15 minutes. Why are they still going? Like, how much did this cost? There was so many things going on, and like laser shows, and like I don't know if some of the stuff was just on the TV or whether it was there, but it'd come up and it'd be. Like stuff would come up, like you'd have like text, but in like fireworks and stuff.
Yeah. I mean, just to do like the drone thing, that's really good. Like, you know, make some incredible intricate pattern. You set up 1 million drones and have them do something in the night sky. Amazing. Or you spend £10 million on your fireworks and you fire them all off at once.
Or you fix all the potholes.
Or yeah. I mean, to be fair, I've got a bit of a gripe to do with local government anyway, which I don't know if it's relevant for this podcast or not. But fuck it, I don't care. I fell over on the ice today, Callum, and I'm absolutely furious about it. One, as probably people know, yeah. I fucking hate the snow and ice. I don't mind the snow when it's in, you know, sort of snowball mode and it's thick and it's crunchy and it's lovely, very picturesque, very beautiful. As soon as 500,000 people have walked across it, though, and it turns into fucking glass, that I have a problem with. And in the town, the overpriced town, should I say, that I currently work in, their local council, whilst obviously we all had sort of, you know, a week, maybe even a couple of weeks' notice by the Met Office and various weather apps and whatever, just saying, well, you know, the weather's going to go real cold, like -7 it was today. Again, that was called about 2 weeks ago on various apps. And it was like, oh, severe snow. And yet, in their infinite wisdom, the local council decided to not bother gritting any roads, to not bother gritting any pavements, which means that every fucking road was just covered in ice and just cars and vans and stuff like that trying to... They've had to stop because of traffic because everyone's crawling along, and as soon as they're trying to move again, they can't get any traction on the road because of the ice. And, you know, you've got all these people coming from the train station like myself. You know, that's hundreds of people every day coming in and out, smushing all that down into just a fine glass surface. And I just don't understand. Even on the platforms, mate, you're literally stepping off the train onto ice.
It's dangerous.
No one No one at the train station thought, fucking hell, maybe we should get a shovel and get rid of some of this shit. No one. Or they just went, no, not our job, leave it.
That's the issue. Everyone's answer. Get. It's not my job.
It's still, I don't know if it's just like a union thing or whatever. It's like, no, your job is to do the train thing. You're not there to shovel ice, so that's not your job. If I was working there, I would be terrified of someone running in and saying, oh my God, my mom's just fallen over, she's broke her leg.
That's the thing.
Because who are they going to blame? Everyone who works there who hasn't bothered just getting a bit of snow off the fucking platform whilst it's still snow and easy to move, rather than ice after it's been squished down all day.
Because of the world we live in, you got Mr. Dan who's working on the train station. You notice that the people responsible for gritting the I don't know if you'd grit on the inside, but sorting out the floor so people don't slip over hasn't done their job. So Mr. Dan goes and gets a shovel and that, and then you fall over and hurt yourself. You're in trouble because you shouldn't have been doing it.
Yeah. Honestly, I'd imagine, because I can't imagine that it's, however many people work in that station. It's not a big station by any means, there's sort of like 5-6 members of staff probably at any one time.
Yeah.
I can't imagine that of all the people that are required to work there, they all go, nah, bollocks to it. They're walking on it as well. Surely it's dangerous for them as well. You'd think that they'd say, oh, boss, can we just get, I know we don't have a shovel on hand. Can I just go to nip to B&Q and grab a shovel? We can sort all this out for us. And they go, no, because if you hurt yourself, it's, you could sue the station or the council or whoever the fuck owns it. And it's the same. The second that you leave the station, all the road, all the pavement, it's all just fucking glass. So everyone is walking in the road because it's safer, because there's less snow. They're walking towards oncoming traffic because every single inch of the pavement is covered in ice. And whilst I've been okay this whole week, today it finally got me. And I'll tell you why. It's because I had my music in, and I was watching where I was going.
You was walking on sunshine.
I was fucking for about 30 seconds whilst I was floating. And went straight down on my hip, and I was just like, I'm sure that looked hilarious. I genuinely wish I was with someone. Like, because I was next to the road as well. Like, everyone saw it. No, I wish that someone had saw it and just be like, that looked fucking incredible. Well done. That was a great fall. Because like, I'm beyond the sort of point of just being, what's the point of standing up going, like, as if everyone's just sort of like, you've got to take it on the chin. If someone had gone over in front of me,
I'd have been
pissing myself. Yeah, I mean, luckily I went to the side rather than the front or the back. If I'd have gone on the back, I'd have been furious.
Yeah,
that's like proper pratfall, like a banana. But just to the side, I haven't got a bruise there yet, but I've got a feeling in the next couple of days or so, I'll send you a picture of it because I reckon it's going to bruise pretty badly.
It's going to be a conker, I reckon. Not a conker.
Yeah, probably so. So yeah, quite annoyed about that. So fuck you, everyone who has the option to, or the funding, or whatever it is, to grill the fucking pavements and you didn't bother. I hope every broken leg that happens in the next couple of weeks or so is put squarely on your fucking shoulders and you feel terrible about it, you cunt. Anyway, Callum, we've got news to discuss. Not a huge amount, because we do want to get this through fairly quickly, although it's a big celebratory 300. Congratulations to you.
Congratulations to you too.
Well, thank you, sir. You're also not feeling great, and I don't want to drag this out any longer than we need to, for all our sakes, quite frankly. We've all got a new year to go on with. So, there's only a few bits and pieces that I do want to go through that I thought were of relevant and importance, one of which is something that you're already aware of, so this is never going to be a big surprise. But it's the new RTX 50 series.
Yes.
We've had some keynote speeches by NVIDIA just kind of talking about the architecture that's going into it. The RTX Blackwell architecture, which is now being quoted as the most powerful consumer GPU ever created. Whilst they're talking about this, one, take it with a grain of salt.
Yeah,
two, I assume that they're on about the highest of the highest end, which is the 5090.
90, yeah.
Yeah, so there's an integration of neural rendering, which is an AI assisting neural rendering, meaning that it can kind of like, it can render on the fly, which is kind of crazy, really, which is, if that's what it can actually do, it means that instead of just having certain areas that are just going to be dropping out, it will be compensating as you're playing, which is baffling as to how that would work. As if anything that powerful would need that much of a hand.
I mean, it's like future-proofing more than anything, I suppose.
I mean, yeah, but that's future-proofing for another 100 years.
Well,
like the 4090 is an incredible piece of kit, right? The RTX 4090. And this is expected to be twice as powerful as it.
But it's...
What in the next 10 years is going to come out that's going to need something that powerful?
The thing is, though, like, I'm unsure on a lot of them because NVIDIA themselves released this graph, and they'd said it's twice as powerful as a 4090. But from their own graph, it's only like between 20 to 40% increase for the 5090 over the 4090.
But that's also on top of how powerful that thing is in the first place.
Oh no! So if you've got it's only for things that take that use the DLSS tech. So if the game doesn't, it won't get the extra benefit. So it's not. It won't be twice as good. It will be like 20 to 40.
Yeah,
which is still good. Anything's better than nothing, isn't it? But
well, it is. Yeah, it's just that it's certainly packing a punch in the fucking wallet department. I'll tell you that.
That's the next thing, isn't it?
Yeah, well, that's
price to performance.
We've got prices now of what the 50 series is going to look like, and this is from our friends at NVIDIA directly as well. So they're obviously maybe resellers that may be able to do things a bit cheaper. But they've again, same as with the 40s, I believe they've knocked the 60s on the head completely. So it's only 70 and up. RTX 5070 is going to be starting at £539. The RTX 5070 Ti at £729, which for a Ti is fucking really expensive already. The 5080 is quoted to be at £979, and then the 5090 is quoted to be at £1,939. So whilst you're seeing, a couple of £100 jump between each step in that sort of chain of power, you've got a grand jump to get to the 5090. Now, part of me, Callum, feels that this is, whilst again, no one can really knock as to how good these things are and how powerful they will be and what it will be capable of. Don't get me wrong. Do you feel that with the 5090, because they've increased it by such a high amount, and because it's the highest end, therefore the most expensive, people will just go, well, that's the best one, then I'll just get that.
That's 100% the case for a lot of people, that it's no different than Apple and any other big brand technology company, where if it's more expensive, it's the best one. And that's not necessarily the case. Yeah.
It's technology hardware technology top trumps is what it is.
And I honestly think 59 is going to be tremendous. But when you look at the cost and you looking at that reliance on DLSS, so you haven't always got that extra, that twice as powerful, because it's not. It's between 20 to 50%. It's at most, for the most part. So now you've got to look at it and go, is it worth nearly $2,000 now? Because it isn't.
Which is the price of an entire rig.
Exactly. And I think it's still expensive, I think the best core out of all the cards that they showed is the 80.
Ooh. I mean, it's still, but of the three which are the more reasonable, comparatively reasonable end of it, I'd still say mid-range is probably where you want to be. 5070 Ti, get that, and that would still last you a decade before you'd have to really consider getting rid of it.
That's the next thing, though. When it gets to next year, and they go, here's a 60 series.
Ah, no, you're probably a few years away from that.
Obviously, it's not going to be next year, though. But it's technology is always... It's a fickle little bitch. And since that press release, and they've gone, this is the world's most powerful graphics card ever created, ever. AMD are there, they're going, right, we need to beat that, we need to do this. And they're already thinking of ways of doing it. NVIDIA are already thinking of ways of doing it. So it's only the best for so long. And that's fine.
As with anything.
Yeah.
It'll be, my God, this is the best camera on the market. Yeah. Until 4 months later when we've just released the 0.5 version, which is slightly better or slightly smaller or whatever it is. It's marginal gains. And that's where, again, different things, but that's where consoles have got more of an advantage over PC, because this is the best until 6 years' time. 4 years later.
Yeah.
Oh, well, yeah, depending on whichever one you
Yeah. Whereas PC, the second we got our new PCs on the same day, the second we ordered that and everything was put together and everything, it was already out of date.
Yeah, it's like a car, mate.
Yeah.
It's not an investment. It's an investment for your time.
Yeah.
And it's an investment for the potential savings of, if that's the sort of thing you're into. But yeah, it 100% depreciates in value. You couldn't resell a computer as soon as you've turned it on for the same price you bought it for.
Nah, no chance.
No one would buy it.
Unless you chucked in all like peripherals and everything, but then you've lost money anyway. You may have got $2,000 back, but it's cost you nearly $3,000 for everything else.
Exactly. I mean, the 40s again, the high spec things on the market at the moment, game wise, that are currently out or announced to be out, that have released specs, most of them, if not all of them, you don't even need a 40 to be able to run it at absolute maximum whack. Not even close. So I think this is purely for people who have got the money or the comfortability to be like, yeah, fuck it, I'm going to get a brand new PC anyway. I'll throw this into it as well.
Yeah.
If you can do it and you can do it comfortably, you have future-proofed by a significant margin. But if you haven't got the best CPU, if you haven't got the best RAM, you haven't got the best motherboard, it's okay what you've got. But you've got a 3070 that you sort of plod along with absolutely fine, and this comes out. For the love of God, don't fucking sell your blood or your car or your family to go out and buy one of these. You don't need it.
The thing is, I could, again, this isn't like a boasty thing. I could afford to go and get a 5090 tomorrow. But I refuse to pay that much for a graphics card.
Yeah.
On its own.
Unless your job is either making games or playing games, you don't need it.
No.
Not for a while.
I am looking at the 80, mainly because I was looking at upgrading PC anyway. But even that, I'm still thinking, I might just get a 4090. I
was going to say, mate, you stick with the 40s for now. But there's no point in pushing beyond the boundary, is there?
It's not something I'm going to do. I ain't going to wake up tomorrow and do it. But it's you got to wait until everything's available, because again, people aren't taking into account scalpers. So there's a very good possibility no one can get any 50 card ever for at least a year.
Yeah.
It'll inevitably happen, but it's looking good. It's just looking real expensive.
Yeah, I think that the AI rendering side of things is what's going to be more interesting for me, and it's the software side of things that I am more interested about. That instead of depending on developers to remake old games or remaster old games, or you get a Last of Us remaster a few years later. It's basically the same, just looks a little bit better because of the slight improvement on the hardware. Whereas if you can develop the software to do that kind of stuff itself in engine, then you negate the need to actually build something again from the ground up, because you could have the hardware doing it for you, and just saying, it's like a visual thing purely. It's not changing the code; it's just making it look better.
Yeah,
it's introducing more light, it's introducing more particles. That sort of side of it interests me far more than just, it's the latest, the highest number, so therefore it's the best one. It's the inner workings that are a bit more interesting. And does it justify the price? Probably not. But will people pay for it? Yeah, fucking course they will.
People
absolutely
will.
There'll be people who are already clambering to pre-order this.
And they're stupid. But it isn't too dissimilar to the PS5 Pro. Does all the AI upscaling malarkey, and it is going to be the future. It's also not AI; it's machine learning, and I fucking hate that people call it AI.
Honestly, I had this conversation with someone at work the other day because we're looking at options, to how can we improve what we do, how can we help streamline things, make things more efficient, and make everyone's job a little bit easier. And one of the things that they asked us to look into was, how can AI help? And I was just sort of like, ugh. He's like, what? And I was like, it's just AI. Everyone needs to stop saying AI. AI doesn't exist. There's no such thing as an AI. There's no computer that is sentient, intelligent. And if there was, you can't tell it to do your fucking job for you. You'd be like, actually, no, because no, fuck that.
I'm Ultron. I'll do what the fuck I want.
It's the same. It's people just latch onto a term and then it'll just be that forever. It's the hoverboard. It didn't fucking hover.
No,
but everyone calls it a hoverboard. It's on wheels. It's a roll board.
Thing is, machine learning isn't as sexy to market.
But it's the steps towards, a more advanced kind of computer and a more advanced software, and that in itself is exciting. You don't need to just slap an AI on it, because then if everyone's used to AI for 50 years and then a true AI becomes a real thing, everyone's like, oh, well, we've had that for years. No, you fucking haven't. You don't even know what's close to being something like that's that incredible. So shut up.
To be fair, this is the first time in a long, long time where Apple's egotistical ego has made it better, where they've taken something and they've gone, this thing where we can wirelessly send pictures and videos and stuff to your friends. We've called it Apple AirDrop. No, it's called Bluetooth, you fucking dickhole. Apple whatever charging, just wireless charging. Stop giving it a fucking ridiculous name just because it's Apple. But with AI, they called it Apple Intelligence. I like that better because it's not saying it's AI.
Yeah.
Abbreviated, it is. But
it is AI though, yes.
Yeah.
But the meaning behind it isn't, oh my god, this thing is just gonna do your job for you, because it won't. It'll do a shit job for you.
No. At the very least, a lot of the stuff where people are going, we can use AI to improve workflow and efficiencies and everything else. It's just a much more refined version of a macro on Excel.
I mean, it's I'll be honest, mate. It is a bit more complicated than that, but I know what you mean in the sense of, because I was talking to one of my team about it. I was just like, look, I've got a job for you. The CEO, he's asked me to have a look at something to do with this. You like digging into things in a bit more detail. I don't have a huge amount of time to commit to it because I don't think it's something that exists as you would want it to currently. But crack on, have a look around, see what kind of options are out there. Companies will be looking at software to try and streamline business processes, see what's out there. And she was saying, but how can an AI, if someone's asking a specific question, how can it know all of the ins and outs or the nuance of whatever it is, given that individual's specific circumstances, to be able to generate a response? And I was like, yeah, don't think of it like that. If there was something on the market that existed like that, you would be out of a job. Because you could just tell it all the information that you have, or the knowledge that you have, and you're gone, because why the hell would they need you? Yeah. All you're looking at is a digital gatekeeper. You're looking at... I used Every's chatbot today to talk about a parcel. I didn't speak to a person, but it knew exactly what I was on about. It asked for all the right information, and then it would pass along my message to the couriers to say, right, yeah, we've changed all of these bits and pieces. Is there anything you want to tell them specifically? Cool, I'll pass that on. That's perfect. That is you don't need a person to have that same conversation. But if you need to have something that's a bit more specific or that's a bit more complicated, then it goes, cool, I can't deal with that. I'll put you through to a person. And that's the sort of thing you're looking for. You're looking for a gatekeeper. Nothing outside of that is really going to exist. And again, with these kinds of prices that are behind this technology, we are moving in that direction where, potentially it could be in completely... what's the word I'm looking for? You wouldn't be clear as to whether you're actually dealing with a person or not. That's how good it will get. In the same way that, photorealism, you can look at a picture on Instagram or whatever, you can be scrolling past it, and there's not a thing in that picture that exists in reality. It's just a digital picture. It just looks so good that even at a glance, even for some of them, when you start actually looking into it, you go, fucking hell, that's not real. What do you mean? It will be the same thing. You'll have an experience. You can have a phone call with someone and not realise you've never spoken to a person.
Well, a lot of cold callers are using, again, not to use the phrase, but using AI to do their calls. So instead of it being, you can tell it's somebody they're calling from India or wherever the call centre is, and they're trying to steal your credentials.
It's like a warm lead thing, isn't it? Yeah, it's just sort of like, oh, we've got your number and we were wondering if you were interested in this. And you go, yeah, actually. And it goes, cool. And then it connects you to an operator who will actually do the sell on you. Or whatever. Things like that, I think make more sense. But the only part of it that does excite me is something like this, where it's just like, they can actually improve your performance based on the hardware but the software itself doesn't need to change. The hardware will do it for you.
Yeah.
That I am quite excited about that, but I think these are still baby steps. Although, goddamn, they ain't baby prices. I'm pretty sure you can buy a baby cheaper than that.
I don't know about that, but
well, moving on from it though, Callum, because we don't want to just sit here and talk about the hypothetical hardwares all day long. One thing that we are both very interested in at the moment, you're significantly further along in it than I am, but the Pokemon trading card game, the mobile phone app, which has been around for about 8-10 weeks or something like that. So it's still a reasonably new release.
Yes,
has reportedly earned over $400 million in its first 2.5 months.
That's not surprising.
I mean, it's not, but goddamn people.
Look at Pokemon Go.
Yeah, well, I mean, that's the thing. And that's what worries me, if anything, when it comes to this. And I know that there's new Pokemon games that they're never going to stop making them until literally they bled everybody dry. But it's a mobile phone game. Don't put your money into this. Put your money into all the DLC for Violet and Scarlet and Arceus and all these, and get the proper games made. Get those full of money to make sure that they keep pumping out the actual good games. That being said, I kind of really dig the trading card game. It's really good, isn't it?
And
it's really addictive.
Coming this month as well.
Well, actually, yes. So, I mean, what I've been positing is that there is a huge amount of potential for the trading card game with a relatively small amount of work needed to increase the number of collectible cards. Yep. So they've already got mechanics for the battle thing, which is fairly simple in terms of the actual battle mechanic of the card game. But in terms of what you do, you get energy. Here's the moves. You've got this much HP. You've got this much attack. This amount of energy to power it. All of that already exists.
Yeah.
All you need to do now is just introduce new card packs with the other 10,000 Pokemon that are in there. You've done all the groundwork. You've done the hard work. You've made fucking nearly $500 million off it. And all you need to do now is once every 3 months just go, hey, here's a new pack, guys. And everyone will get fucking brilliant. Well done.
They've already started with 3 and they've already added a 4th.
Yes, but it's not a part of the same expansion thing, though, is it?
But
it's a new. It's like, oh my god, this is from like a different region, so it's all the same cards again, and that's what infuriated me about the Mythical Island pack when they did it. And I was like, oh no way, new pack, great. I opened it, first thing was in there was a fucking Pidgey. I was like, what? Haven't I already got like 6 versions of this? Like that's how they're stretching it out, and the fact that people. Yeah, but people are buying these hourglasses and they're buying the poker gold and whatever, and it's just like, look, it's a mobile phone game. It's supposed to be enjoyed when you're having a shit, and if you're having a shit or a bit of a downtime at work or whatever, and it's like 12 hours to recharge your next pack.
Yeah,
just do that. There's more. It feels special, like when you finally get that last little bit of a, you've completed one little section of your page.
I wasted
for your fire types,
21 hourglasses the other day. And I opened 10 packets in one go.
Yeah.
And I got how many new cards do you reckon, Dan? Out of 10 packets of cards.
Which is what, 50 pulls, I guess?
Yeah.
6.
0.
Oh, fucking hell,
I didn't get one new card.
Oh, mate, that's terrible.
I mean, granted, I've got I think 1,500 and something cards at the moment.
Oh, really? I think I've got 800.
Yeah, I've got a fair few.
800 and something, I think. Yeah.
But I love it. But Logan's really got into it, which is great, and Zoe's got into it. And obviously, you're playing it as well. So for Christmas, I bought. You go into a shop and they've got the Pokemon cards.
Yes.
I bought a box of cards. And I was like, this will be fun. So it's basically loads of stocking presents because they're all individual packets.
It's like scratch cards, isn't it? You get, maybe you get lucky and you get, oh my god, that's actually really cool. Well done.
He got a few shinies and EXs and stuff, and it was fun opening them. But then, as soon as he'd finished opening them, they'd had enough. Like, right.
It's like gambling, isn't it? It's like, whilst you're in the moment, it's incredible, it's alluring, it's intoxicating. As soon as it's over, it's like, God, how much did that cost me? What the fuck was I thinking?
Well,
I've only done a 10 card pull once, and it was after you hit level 6 or whatever, and it's like, here's 120 hourglasses. And I was like, Cool, I'm using them bad boys then.
It's not.
I wouldn't do it again. I'm saving up. I think I've got about 230 or something. And I rarely use them. Again, when I'm on the train to work. Maybe when I'm on the train back to work and I've got another one.
So I mean, sometimes I'll gauge it. So if I've got an odd number, say I've got 13, and then it gets like an hour, like just under an hour before I can open it, I'll use one.
Yeah.
So I'll get to open it a little bit quicker. But then that levels out my stuff then. But I don't see the point in opening a packet and then go, do you want to open another one? That's gonna cost 13 hourglasses.
Yeah.
Nah,
yeah.
I think I'll hold on to them. I'm all right.
Well, that's the trick, you see. You do it just before you go to bed. Because that way, when you get up in the morning, bang, you got one ready to roll.
Yeah. Well, you get 2 a day, so.
Yeah, exactly. And I like the fact that, the premium thing that you can actually pay a subscription for. A subscription, Callum. Ridiculous.
I did it.
Oh, you fucking idiot.
No, I did the free trial because you get 30 30 days for free and then cancel it. But you get the promo Pikachu card if you do it.
Well, you can pull, again, I can't remember how much it is. Let's say it's like £7 a month or whatever it is for the subscription.
It's $7.99.
Okay, yeah, well that wasn't far off then. You get like an extra pack a day that you can not that you get to unlock for free, that you still have to wait for. So it'll like build up to 3 packs. And
it does it on
that's not enough.
It basically,
that's not enough.
On your dashboard, you get 2 timers. One for your premium pack and one for your normal ones.
It should be, at least it should be, you get 2 for Mythic and you get 2 for Genetic Apex.
I mean, to be fair, at the time,
if you pay for the premium, you get 3 for both. So you can pull 6 packs in one day, maybe, if you use some of your hourglasses. But what they have started doing that I've seen is if you complete certain objectives, you will be given a pack.
Yeah.
That's great. Do more stuff like that. So I think that there's potentially they could milk the fuck out of this, especially with Pokemon Z to A is due out in August 2025. So if you did a few more regions in the sort of the next couple of months or so, and then you do a tie-in for Z to A, I think you get all the people who are dead keen on the Pokemon trading card game that'll go, well, fucking hell, yeah, I need to get into go and get Z and A now. And then you get people who are queuing up to get Z and A. They'll go, oh, well, I'm really keen on it. I'm dead hyped on it at the moment. I'll get that trading card game so I can get some of the Pokemon from it as well, some of the new ones. Perfect. Again, that's another 50, 100 million for literally nothing than uploading a couple of pictures and adding a number associated to it. Bang, done.
They did a lot of stuff with Pokemon Go when what were the last 2s? Violet and
Scarlet.
Scarlet, yeah. The one before that. Sword and Shield.
No, Arceus was before that. And then
no. I meant your dual ones, I mean.
Oh, yeah, then Sword and Shield. Oh, well, I mean, it would not be Brilliant Diamond and Brilliant Pearl.
No, because they're remakes. They don't count.
No, I know, but I think they were the...
It was definitely Sword and Shield because I did it.
Oh, right, yeah.
But in Pokemon Go, in a tie-in with the whatever it was, latest Pokemon movie, you could catch, if you caught it in Pokemon Go, you could move it to Sword and Shield, even though it doesn't exist in Sword and Shield. Stuff like that. I like that.
Okay.
I did it. It was good. That was it.
Still, we need to play way more Pokemon than we have been. Considering how much I've been playing it a lot of work as well. To be fair, I'm a collector. It? I'm not a I need to reach the top of the battle leagues or whatever. I need every single fucking one. I need every variation. I need every gender. I need all of them.
I'm the opposite. I've got 15 that I'll use and religiously train and batter. Get my badges and whatever else, and then maybe I'll stick it out. With the older ones, like the Game Boy ones and the DS ones, it was do everything, collect everything.
Yeah.
These ones, because they're way more fucking long-winded. It's just like, nah, I'm done now.
No, I don't know. Like, there's a lot of, because especially again, it's when you're getting down to the dregs. It's the same problem that you're having with the trading card game. When you've got 10 left, getting them is impossible.
Yeah.
Like, because you just sort of like, I've got to check Twitter and just be like, right, where's the fucking next outbreak of these ones that I haven't collected yet? It's just a pain in the arse, mate.
And Power World. It's a far better Pokemon game.
Yeah, and there's actually been an update to Power World a couple of weeks ago, I think. They've added new pals, new weapons, and everything. So we need to get back into Power World as well, mate.
We do need to play more of that, definitely.
Yeah, it is. Oh man, it is good, isn't it? I did go on it after they dropped the new update because it was a pretty big one. It's like 30 gig or something. It seems fine. Like they fixed the grapple mechanic and like the animation for it as well, so it looks way smoother. So the only thing I've asked them to do this whole fucking time is just make you able to grapple up a thing. It doesn't look ridiculous, like it's just pinging me off the top.
What's something that was checked every time we played it? Every time there was an update. Like, nah,
I know, yeah. Eventually they got to it, which is all good. But outside of Pokemon, Lego. There's a couple of updates for the Lego. I don't know. I was going to say franchise, but that's not the right. Monopoly, I guess, because they just fucking shit money constantly. Every collaboration just seems to actually absolutely win. But in a new collaboration effort between Lego and Nintendo, there has been a new set that's been announced and due to be released based on the original Nintendo Game Boy.
Ooh.
So that means that we can get a Nintendo Game Boy Lego set, so you can build the original grey block. And hopefully there will be play sets that tie into that as well. So, original Tetris, maybe original Pokemon if you're lucky. Or maybe you can build cartridges that you can insert into the back. So you could build your own library of all your classic Game Boy games and then, store them in the back of it. Or, I mean, they could just go really high end with it and actually make it, just put the circuitry for original Game Boy in there, and then, it's got a couple of pre-installed games and stuff like that. You can play
Lego
your
Technic.
own. Lego what?
Technic.
I don't think you'd even need anything that complicated. Just like if you'd need a basic PCB and a power source that you could just USB charge or something like that.
I mean, theoretically, you could
it would work.
You build the shell out of Lego and then just put a Raspberry Pi and a screen in there.
In essence, yeah. I mean, if you go real high end, that's how you could get around it. But is there any particular original? Sorry, I keep knocking this microphone because the arm is a bag of wank on it, and I'm flapping around. Are there any original Game Boy games that you have either a particularly fond memory of, or you'd go, do you know what? I'd probably get the playset of that because I've seen like the Tears of the Kingdom, like Zelda one, which is fucking sick to be fair. But any Game Boys that you want to see, or potentially even consider buying a set for?
Obviously, the easiest answer to that is Pokemon Red or Blue. But there was a Wario game that I used to fucking love.
Yeah,
I'm gonna have to Google it. Wario Game Boy. Wario Land, which was actually Super Mario Land 3.
Yep.
But I fucking love that game. It was real good. So I'm going to go with that. Because Pokemon would be my answer, but it's a boring one, so I'm going to go with Wario Land.
Is there a Pokemon Lego crossover?
Yeah, Logan's got some.
Sweet. Okay, well then, yeah, I was going to say, unless you'd need to create like minifig Pokemon and all of that, but a Pokeball that you could open, it's got the cartridge in it or something like that. Yeah, I'd probably genuinely consider getting something like that.
He's got the Pokeball as well.
Yeah. Well, I'll tell you what, because now that I've got the Switch and now that original classic Game Boy games are on Nintendo Online, I started playing Super Mario Land, which was the Game Boy Super Mario. And as soon as I started playing it, man, I was having flashbacks from like 30 years ago.
That's the game everyone had.
Yeah, I remember the shit out of this, and I didn't complete it then, and all the jumping controls are still awkward as fuck now. But I started playing Kirby's Dream Land as well, because that's on there as well, like the original Game Boy one. And it's so weird, like having completed Forgotten Kingdom not long ago, which is, I fucking love that game. Yeah, such a good game. I'm just like, this is exactly the same. I mean, like, it's the basic premise is exactly the same. Like, they just haven't changed the formula, which has always been my biggest gripe with Nintendo. But they nailed it out the gate, and then they just made it better every time.
I mean, that's
as
the beauty of them.
I hate it because it's so simple, and then it just works.
But that's different than.
I can't knock it.
On paper, like every episode of Star Trek is the same.
How dare you?
It
How
is.
dare
It
you,
is.
sir?
It is. But it's not a bad thing. I mean, and it's
No.
and it's not true either, because there's some good episodes and some bad episodes. Same with every TV show. It's not perfect, Dan. But,
well, I would disagree, but
but it's you get that formula, and then you get it to the point where people go, I really like this. Actually, I really fucking love this. And then you don't want to. We've been there. We've seen things where they've gone. What we've sat here on this podcast and complained and gone, why the fuck did they change it?
yeah,
Why did X thing do this thing? Why didn't they just keep it as it was? It was fucking brilliant. It was dead good. Now they've ruined it. And Nintendo have basically just been on that for 60 years or whatever. And just gone, let's stay this side of the fence. Because when they did change it, what happened, Dan? The Wii U happened. The Virtual Boy happened. That's what happens when they mix it up. And now they're going, have you seen the Switch leaks as well?
Pictures of, which I think Nintendo have disavowed. They just said, look, we haven't disclosed anything, so disregard all of it. Even though most people are saying, yeah, but it's probably right though, isn't it?
Well, the ones I saw yesterday that popped up on, not Twitter, what's the other one? Threads. It's at CES, and it's like a third-party company.
Yeah, but that's the thing. Nintendo have said that we were not at CES. So anything that you've seen or heard, they're just keeping their distance from it to say, look, we're going to announce it at some point. And yes, it probably will be exactly that rendering. But they're just saying, we haven't officially said anything, so discount anything until we tell you otherwise. And now they're going to go rush back and go,
we need to change it.
Add another button on it or something, for goodness sake. They nailed it. Fucking hell.
I mean, I'll get it. I really like the Switch.
Well, especially if they're saying that all the Switch games are going to be compatible with Switch 2. Yeah. I've not got a reason to not upgrade then if that's the case, which is, I'm absolutely fine with that. But in addition to, because apparently there's an NES or an SNES Lego thing as well, so the Game Boy is just like the newest version of that, which sounds great. But in addition, and more important to me, quite frankly, there's currently an ongoing and fascinating, as some would say, rumour of a collaboration between Lego and Star Trek. So the Star Trek franchise has had there's been like a licensing partnership or whatever it is between Paramount or it'll be CBS now, I guess. But with the Star Trek show and Playmobil, because there was some Playmobil sets, and there was also, I think it's a German company, kind of like Lego, like a knockoff kind of version, called Blue Bricks, I think they are. And they had honestly some really quite good sets. Like there's a few different ships. There's a phaser rifle which looks amazing. And when I found this company, I was like, "Fucking hell, it's like 170 quid." But should I buy this? Like, it looks great. But that apparently's now come to an end. I don't know if it was just a term thing or what. And the rumours are, Callum, that there are talks and a collaboration between Lego and Star Trek. And the first of these set pieces in the vein of like a Star Wars Star Destroyer, or a big AT-AT, or the huge Millennium Falcon, is that the first set is going to be the Enterprise D, which is obviously a classic Enterprise.
D for Dick.
D for Dick, yeah. Because that's what they're going to do to my fucking pockets, I can tell you that. So whilst it is all rumours and there hasn't anything been officially announced from either side, to my knowledge, as of recording at least, there seems to still be a lot of specifics about it. Yeah, well, it's this ship and it's going to be about 3,600 pieces and there's 9 cast members that are in it. And it's like, yeah, well, that's more than a rumour, isn't it? That's not a shot in the dark.
It's going to happen.
That's a shot in the dark with a torch on your head. Like, you know what you're aiming at. So the simple fact is that whilst currently, yes, they are just rumours, and like I say, as of the recording of this, nothing has been announced officially, it seems too specific to not be. And you know what it's like, kind of, with these kind of rumours when they all start circulating. It's beyond rumour mill at that point. And obviously I do have a big problem with this because the Lego sets are great, frankly, like in terms of quality and in terms of the variation that comes with it as well. And, I've been quite good and I managed to steer clear of the insane... There's only one time I've actually tried to buy Star Wars Lego and I got a fucking scarf for my troubles. So
God, yeah, I remember that.
I'm not doing that again. But this one, though, this is troublesome because I know I will have to get this, which means I've already actually started putting money to one side. I've already got like 250 quid that's just sat there. I'm like, yep, that's for Lego. And there's just every month I'm just going to put into that until it actually comes out. And then when it does, I will go and get it.
You shouldn't
and
have
I'll
said
build
that,
it that day.
Lego, they're listening. They go, right, he's got 250 quid now. If we hold this out for another year, think how much money I'll have to spend on Lego there.
Yeah, that's true. To be fair, if they said we'll do all the main ships from all the shows, we won't go into like all the all the Eagle Moss models where they've made like basically every ship that had like a CG or a physical rendering that was used in a show, they had a model for it.
That's
every little escape pod.
They just print them out.
Very much so. It's literally just casting models.
Yeah.
Whereas this, you've got to go, how the fuck do we build this? Does it have lights in it? Does it have a sound effects thing? What's going to be the big draw other than just the franchise itself? Is it going to do a thing that no other Lego does? And do they say, well, do we just go, well, we'll do the Enterprise and we'll do the original series Enterprise and we'll see how we go and we'll see if we sell out. And if we sell out, then we'll go, well, maybe we'll do Voyager. Maybe we'll do £1,000 Deep Space Nine that's like 10,000 pieces and is absolutely massive. Maybe we'll do a batleth, like a big sword or a big shooty thing or something like that kind of keeps people interested who are going to buy it. And I tell you what, Callum, the Star Trek fans out there may not be millions and billions of them, but they are fucking committed.
They are fucking stupid with money.
They are really into it. Like, they will go all out on this. And as speaking as one of those idiots, you better believe that whatever they've got lined up, I'm going to be very interested in, unless it happens to be about Discovery, and in which case I'll save my money.
That'll be one of them.
Probably. No, it's been cancelled, so it's not exactly beloved. But if they said, we'll do a 2,000 piece Defiant or something like that, yeah, I'd get that. Yeah, I'd absolutely fucking get that. It'd be amazing.
It'll happen. It'll definitely happen.
Well, this goes back to, because it was always, I've joked about it for years. Like, oh, bloody hell, as soon as they get Lego going, oh, I'm in trouble then. And now we potentially are crossing that barrier. I am a little bit worried about it. But are there any other franchises that you think, oh, do you know what? I would really be in trouble if they started making like really expensive Lego sets on a thing that I can't not get.
I mean, as a father of an 11-year-old that loves Lego, I've already spent far too much money on Lego.
But I'm talking specifically for you here.
I'd quite like some. I'm trying to think what there isn't.
Yeah.
Because a lot of things I said, obviously there is Star Wars, there is already Marvel, there's already DC.
Yep. Harry Potter and all that.
I don't give a shit about Harry Potter. But what isn't there that I would like? Because there's even Nightmare Before Christmas now.
You could go, what about Back to the Future? Yep.
No, not Lego. That's what's the other one? Duplo.
No. I mean, if they said we're doing Back to the Future,
I'll do
I'm
that.
like,
yeah.
Yep.
I bought.
I'd get a little DeLorean or something. Yeah.
I bought the Playmobil one.
Nah, pathetic.
It's fucking ace. Doc Brown and Marty and Einstein are wank because they look like Playmobil people, but the DeLorean's real good and it lights up and everything.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
Actually, now that you say that, is there not a Lego hoverboard?
It might be a hoverboard, but there's not a DeLorean and Doc Brown and that. I'm pretty sure if you Google Lego back.
Yeah, there is, mate. I'm looking at it.
Is it out now?
I don't know. Lego Icons Back to the Future.
Oh.
Time car machine set. Yeah.
No, you are correct, Dan. But it didn't exist. That's the thing.
160 quid. Yikes.
So, what's the Playmobil one? Is that even still?
I assume it'll just be the same kind of thing, though, won't it?
I mean, it's 60 quid now, which is cheaper than when I got it. But it was really good. The Playmobil one.
Yeah.
But it was really good. But at the time, the Lego one didn't exist.
Well, the reviews for this have been going on since September 2022, so it's been around for a while.
Yeah, I got this. Oh, God, I'd have to pull up Instagram to find the date.
Oh, I don't care.
It was a long time ago.
Yeah.
I got that and the Mystery Machine.
Oh, right, okay. Well, there's probably something else. Like, what about Power Rangers? Would you get like a dragon sword or something like that?
I'd get if they did a dragon or a tiger sword, I'd get that.
Not the sword. The sword. Like,
sword.
A sword or a dagger or something?
Oh, no, dragon dagger. Fucking hell, Dan, get it right.
Yeah, that's it.
I go out of my way to learn Riker and fucking Worf and everything. You can't even remember the name of a tiny little baby sword.
It is a tiny little baby sword. But, you know, like a proper Lego thing of that you can like have on a display stand, that'd be pretty cool, right?
I'd buy that. Or
a helmet. The helmets are pretty popular at the moment.
I'd rather have a proper helmet I could put on my head.
Yeah, but that'd be about $4,000, mate.
Power Ranger.
Also, I did see, speaking of models, someone actually, I think it was at auction, they bought the original Deep Space Nine, like the one that was used for filming. It was about £250,000 or dollars. And Deep Space Nine isn't even like the most beloved, but the models that they use for these, like the actual, like the models that they use for the show, like flying around and stuff before they started using computers. The detail on them, mate, is just bonkers.
A lot of people put a lot of effort into them.
Well, they bloody well do, and that's clearly shown. And again, people will go, £250,000 for a model. Yep.
Yeah. Stupid,
that.
Stupid people.
Stupid people. Stupid people? That's what you're calling my people?
Living in their mum's basements and... What are the?
I mean, to be fair, mate, if that's what I had to do to be able to buy something like that, yeah, I'd fucking... it wouldn't even be a question.
I mean, since living out in the sticks, what the fuck am I on about? Since living out on my own, paying bills and mortgages and stuff, I'd love to live back at home.
I know, yeah. No more worries, no more bills, no more nothing, right?
Kids don't know how lucky they got it.
I know, yeah. Well, until the world burns down. But we'll leave it there, Callum, because that's basically everything that I wanted to go through, and you're sounding a little bit more rough than when we started. So unless there's anything else that you'd like to discuss, that'll do for me.
I'm all good. I will apologise to everyone and you, Dan, because even though I can't help but being ill, I feel like I've let everybody down.
Well, you have. So we'll pick this up on the next one, number 301, and everyone, I will see you when I'm actually paying attention to these, which is in 49 more weeks. So potentially by the end of the year.
That's very close to it. Very close to it.
I know, right? Thanks, everybody. Thanks, you, Callum. I hope you feel better soon, mate.
Thanks all. Bye.